In the previous episode, we began our 7th and final day of the NAMAKWA Eco Trail by departing our campsite in a dry riverbed and heading west towards the coast. We passed the town of Xteenfontein, traversed a long, wide valley, explored a gold mine, and had lunch in a cave before heading south towards Bakkrans, where we'll be spending the night. We couldn't really stop at Bakkrans, however, because our day's drive wasn't even halfway through yet, and not knowing at all what the rest of the day would hold, we continued on the trail as we dove headfirst into some true desert dunes. Here's where we are in relation to Day 7's route. Everything east of us has been driven in the previous episode, and we are now traveling west. The route will take us through some red dunes, down into a canyon that we'll be following for a few kilometers, and then up out of the canyon over many more dunes until we finally hit Beersbank, where the trail officially ends at the Orange River. We'll continue west to Alexander Bay to bid farewell to the Orange River at the mouth, and then head all the way back to Bakkrans to camp. Well, we've just pulled in at our campsite for tonight at Bakkrans, which looks really awesome. Really looking forward to sleeping there tonight. Looks like it's well sheltered and should be a fun spot to camp. It's 2 p.m. now, but here's the twist. We are not stopping here to camp. We're actually heading out, and we're going to do the last section of the NAMAKWA Eco Trail. There's no point coming all this way and not finishing. So the last section is from Bakkrans to a place called Beersbank, which is once again on the Orange River right at the mouth. That should just tick off the trail for us to say we've actually done the whole thing. It's a long drive to get there. It's over 100 kilometers, and it's 2 p.m. now, so we may be getting back in the dark, but hey, let's give it a try, and let's finish off strong. When departing Bakkrans, it's better to stay off the road, ironically, because the road is actually bumpier than the sand. I'm guessing that people just drive on the road with tires that are too hard, and that causes corrugations to form. Out of nowhere, we suddenly found ourselves in red desert sand, and it kind of feels like we've just been teleported to Namibia. With virtually no landmarks, we're very grateful to have a variety of good GPS and mapping devices to help us out, because the routing info that you get when you book the trail wasn't really sufficient. We begin to descend down into the Holgat Valley, and at the bottom we'll take a left turn and follow the valley west. Wow, this has been amazing. Wow. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to film this here. Wow. So cool. So essentially, we were in proper desert, like red sand, like Namib/Kalahari desert. Like driving over dunes. It was pretty awesome. The road disappeared at some points. We've now gone down into the Holgat River Valley. Gaia GPS no longer has this track, so we are purely following the instructions and just following the river valley, and at a certain point we'll turn out and we'll go north and just ride through the desert once again. But it's just crazy, you come out of a desert and it's like there's a sudden drop into nothing, and now we're in this river valley, and in the river valley the sand is white and right next to us the sand is red. The contrast is crazy. So yeah, we're having a good time. It's pretty crazy. We actually should have done this section in 2 days. It's just a lot of driving, but we're making the most of it, driving like rally drivers, trying to get it done before it gets dark, but it's been fun.
One of the craziest things for me about this trail is coming across people that live in the most insanely remote places. This guy has a shack, a small kraal to keep animals in at night, and he probably spends the whole day out in the sun with his goats. Fun fact about the Nama people, in their culture, you're only supposed to put a roof on your house when you get married. So for all the single people out there, I'm sorry, you allowed walls but no roof. We come to a place that's marked on the map as Sickle, which translates to struggle. I wonder why. That was sarcasm there. I can fully understand why people have struggled to survive here. It's really wild.
First.
As we climb out of the valley, we stop to get out of the vehicle and take a few photos. And man, is it rough out here. Through all the sandblasting and having to cover my eyes, I managed to get a few clips, but I must say I prefer the comfort of being in the cab, so we soon move on and begin to move north up the dunes towards the Great Orange River. I didn't film too much here because we were in a bit of a hurry to get to the end before sunset, so you'll have to just bear with all the DJI dashcam footage, but I really enjoyed this section. We began to move out of the sandstorm, and all around us the only thing in sight was dune sand and low brush. In some sections the sand had kind of covered the road completely. In other sections the road just entirely disappeared and we had to basically floor it to avoid getting stuck in the sand, and then kind of drive around until we intersect the road again. Let's just say that without a satellite phone we would not have come here by ourselves.
I'm gonna get up over here.
Yeah, what do people think we should do?
And then I'm gonna backtrack.
Yo, that was intense. Are we trying to find this road again? Yeah, it looks like somebody built for us on the road.
There's someone's tracks. Over here. Where did they go?
Wait, there's a road there.
Yeah, we'll find it now. There it is.
Oh, thank goodness. Whoa. How do they expect people to make it up there? Somebody else made it
The
better,
road, no,
a better road.
this is the old road. That road got washed away.
Oh my.
It's situations like that that I'm really grateful for the uni chip. That extra 30% or whatever of torque and power that I get makes a difference when you're in a pickle. And low second and diff lock and just floor it, that got us out of trouble there and helped us to find the road again. And a little bit of excitement on this long boring road.
This is one of the few landmarks here. It's an old farm called Rooibank, which I guess means red bank. My question is just what makes one decide to farm here of all the places where there is absolutely nothing? And secondly, what do you farm here? Where do you get your food and water? I guess people were just tougher back in the day. Finally, we make it to Beerspunk, and as we see the Orange River appear once again, this river that's been such an integral part of the trail, it dawns on us that we have finally made it. The NAMAKWA Eco Trail is officially complete. We just have one more place to visit to make it official though, as we take the short drive west through Diamond Mine Country to Alexander Bay.
Well, it's over here in the little tiny town of Alexander Bay that we've just found out doesn't even have a petrol station. That we end our NAMAKWA Eco Trail. Today's been an extremely long day. I don't know what we've done in total today. I'll put it on the screen. But in total for the whole Eco Trail, we've actually done 716 kilometers, which is a lot more than the 600 I thought. So thankfully I have a long range tank. Let's just hope the fuel's enough to get us back to the closest petrol station, which is in Springbok, which is hundreds of kilometers away. So fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly tomorrow. But for now, we are doing the probably about an hour and a half drive on a gravel road, maybe even more than that, maybe an hour 40 minutes drive back to our campsite tonight. It's probably going to be dark by the time we get there, but we get a good night's sleep tonight, and tomorrow's the long journey back home. But I hope you've enjoyed the series. We'll show you our little camping setup tonight and tomorrow morning, and then we're going to call it an end. But good trip, and glad everything went well.
It's a very quiet drive back to camp as we hit that golden hour where everything looks magical, and Nicole and I are able to just reflect on what has been probably one of the best weeks of our lives. We arrived back at Bakkrans just after sunset, and although we're pretty exhausted, we bring some wood out for just one last fire under a rocky cave roof in a sky full of stars.
Okay, so we're at camp, beautiful Bakkrans cave. First time I've been here obviously, and it's really nice and well sheltered, so happy about that. And we have completed not only the 7 days of NAMAKWA Eco Trail, which in hindsight should have actually been 8 days. Today we drove, I added up the drive back from Alexander Bay to here, and the total driving distance today was 315 kilometers.
It was almost 11 hours of just driving.
Yeah, almost 11 hours of driving, 315 Ks, all in 4x4 on dirt roads. So we should have actually broken today up in 2 days and stayed here the first night and then done Alexander Bay and back the next day. But in the end, it actually worked out well. And I've got a renewed sense of energy just knowing that we've done it, like it's done.
Yeah.
And now we can go home and tick that off the list and go back and look at all the many hours of footage and photos and just remember it all. There was a point today where I was saying to Nicole, we were driving through the dunes, I kept saying, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that scenes like that existed in South Africa. And this is my own country, and ask anyone, I know this place like the back of my hand. And this is just a little corner of the country where you look at it on a map and you think there can't be so much in that little area.
Yeah.
But you come out here and you see how vast it is, and it's like, man, this is a big country. That's what it makes me realize.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I really hope you guys enjoyed the series. It was really special for us to do this. We're going back to civilization tomorrow, and we're going to get a few hundred messages on our phones and probably many emails to answer, unfortunately, but it's been a good break from that, and I feel like we're going to go home completely tired at first, but then completely refreshed from the experience.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more of this in the future. Join Nicole and I and the trusty Hilux for more episodes. This thing is a beast. It has not faltered once since we've bought it.
Yeah.
Just soldiered on, and we've really pushed it to the limit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays like that.
It's been through a lot, now that I think about it.
Like, a heck of a lot.
It's been through so much, even the last few days.
Yeah.
And I think we haven't realized how reliable it is. We're just like, oh, it just keeps going.
It just
we've
keeps
been through
going,
some crazy terrain. We're like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah. But it's been good, and many more adventures to come. We're only on 40,000 kilometers,
Yeah.
and this thing will probably last 10 to 15 times that
Yeah,
much. So
definitely.
it's only the beginning.
It may only be the beginning of our adventures together, but for this series, it's the end. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that wherever you are, you're able to get out and make memories like this for yourself. You'll never be the same again.